Good morning, dear students. Welcome back here with me. Let's start same topic, and there will be third lecture over the same topic today. And it's going to be very short one. And before talking about today's lecture, we should go back to know something about Saheb Alam. As everyone know that the Saheb Alam they came from Bangladesh in 1971, and he used to scrounge and try to look for something in the garbage dump, as he belongs to the rag pickers. One day, author asked him why did you do this. He said that I have nothing to do and there is no school in my vicinity, so I can't go there also. Author made promise that if I made, so will you come? He said with the happiness that of course I will come, but it was the false promise that she made to Sahib Alam. But the Sahib Alam with the army of his barefoot boys, they appear like a morning bird in the street and disappear till morning. And one day when Arthur asked him, why did you do this and why did you not wear chappal and shoes? So he said that it is our tradition to stay barefoot. Not a lack of money. It's a tradition. But Arthur knew that it is just an excuse to hide and conceal their perpetual state of poverty. Having been heard these words from their mouth, she reminded the story of a man from Udipi who used to pray the goddess that, please God, have a pair of shoes to me. And finally, goddess fulfilled his wish. But at the same time, she saw that there was a new priest and his son has in grey uniform, socks, shoes, school bags, and throwing his school bag after returning from the school over school the folding bag. Having been seen that boy doing so, she thought that the priest's son have everything, and many like these are. But there are some who stay barefoot without shoes, like rag pickers in my vicinity. Very much familiar with them, she went to Simapuri, which is the slum area of Delhi, outer edge of Delhi, but mile away from their reach. Basically, miles away from, metaphorically here means Delhi is very close to this place, but in reality, they cannot afford those facility and amenities that others have. These rare pickers cannot afford the amenities, basic amenities and needs like water, good clothes, and a good house to live in, and many other things like education and health. They are living here squatterly, illegally for many years. Actually, for the last 30 years, they are here without identity, without any permissions. But they have ration card and they enlisted themselves in the voter list, and so they can buy some grain. Okay, these are something. So, Seema, when I talk about the group of women, why did you leave your green field in Dhaka? Say they said that it is because there is nothing to give. If we could go to bed and we could feed our families till evening and we could go bed without taking in the stomach, so it is good to be here than in Bangladesh. So if you are living in the Simapuri, it means just you have to pick up the garbage and nothing else. And the garbage for them is everything, like it's like a bread, it's like a roof over their head. And but as far as concern about the children, it is something different. You know why? Because sometimes they found rupees and 10 rupees note in the garbage dump, but they try to find even more. And they feel so happy, and afterward or sometimes they found a silver coin in the heap of that garbage. They cannot stop themselves to scrounging and looking for one more, hope of finding one more. It seems that this garbage is you see the different meaning for the children as compared to their elders. For the elders, it is a mean of survival, but for the children, it is just a miracle. It's just a miracle that is wrapped with. You see, that garbage is a wonder for these children, but for the elder, it is a means of survival. They are surviving over it. And now let's start the today's. The winter morning, I see Saheb standing by the fence gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis ball. One morning, I saw that Sahib was looking a game. Actually, what was that game? From behind the fence gate in my vicinity, is watching two young men who were playing tennis. I like the game. He content to watch it standing behind the wall. He was contented to watch this game from behind the gate, behind the fence gate. He was very happy to see from there, and he hums that I like this game. He like this game. He love this game. I go inside when no one is around. He admits the gatekeeper, let me use the swing. He said that I go inside the ground and move around here, and gatekeeper also let me go inside, and he let me use a swing as well. Side 2 is wearing tennis shoes that look so strange over the discolored shirt and shorts. He also have shoes, but it looks very strange and awkward over his dirty and faded shirt and half pant knicker. Someone gave them to me, he says, in the manner of an explanation. In the manner of explanations, he was justifying that someone has given me these shoes. That pair of shoes has given me someone. The fact that they are discarded shoes of rich boy who perhaps refused to wear because it has a hole in one. Okay, these were the discarded shoes of some, thrown shoes by some rich boy who refused to wear these shoes because it has a hole in one of them. But a shoe with a hole for the the feet boy who walk barefoot in the street. And for those boys, the shoes with a hole is a dream come true. Okay, the game he is, but as far as concern about this game, he is watching so intently, is out of his reach. It's really very out of his, he can't afford. This morning, Sahib is on his way to milk booth. In this hand is a steel canister. I now walk in the tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. One morning, I saw that Sahib was going somewhere. Sahib was on his way to the milk booth. Where? In his hand is a steel canister. And he said that nowadays I am walking at the tea stall at the roadside. Pointing far away, he said that nowadays I am working at the tea stall down at the road. So I'm paid 800 rupees in all my meals. The owner paid me 800 rupees along with meals of all my meals. Does he like the job? I asked him, do you like this job? Okay. His face, I see the lost, the carefree look. The canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly his shoulder. After when I asked him, do you like this job? His face looks so, you see, that look of carefreeness as he used to be, he lost that. It seems that the canister, which is so small to carry, but it seemed very heavy as compared to his big plastic bags. Oh, when he used to carry that bag over his shoulder, it was so lighter. It was so, you see, very easy to pick up because it was his own. He was master of that bag and he was free to do anything. But canister seems very heavy to carry. The bag was his, bag was his own. Okay, the canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. So Sahib is no longer his own master. Okay, he remains, no longer remains the master of his own thought. He has to do everything as per the instruction of his owner. That's it. That was about today's lectures. And now we have some questions like what does the writer mean by but the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach? It was really because he can't afford that. These are the men, these are the people, and these are the children who earn at the daytime and eat in till or because of this earning, they eat something at evening or in the evening. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. They can't afford and they can't buy the racket, tennis ball, shirt, shoes, and all. So next is how does Sahib get tennis shoes? This was the discarded shoes of some rich boy because it has a hole in one, and so um, he must have rejected and refused to wear. But these kind of shoes is a blessing in disguise for the rack pickers. And these are the people who have no pair of shoes and no shoes to wear in his life. So it's a dream come true for them. What does Sahib get as a wage or a salary for this owner? Work at the tea stall. Work at the tea stall. So after getting the job at the tea stall, he have been paid 800 rupees along with his meal by the tea stall owners. And is Sahib happy working at the stall? Was he happy? I don't think that he was happy to working at the tea stall because he had lost his freedom. And before this, he had a big plastic bag that he carried over his shoulder, and it was so easy to carry. It was so light to pick up. But canister that he is now picking over his shoulder is although very small, but seems so heavy to carry because he has lost his the freedom to do anything, and nowadays he has to follow the instruction of his masters. That's it. That was something about Sahib Alam, and in the next lectures we will talk about Mukesh and who is from the bangle industry. Thank you.